on agriculture, we'll define what agriculture is. We've seen the components of agriculture. We've seen the system of agriculture that is being practiced in the African setting. Today we are going to look at how agriculture contributes to the economy, the importance of agriculture to our economy. We're going to look at the Nigerian economy and how does agriculture contributes to its growth. Remember, I told you in our previous class that agriculture provides a large population of our country with employment opportunity. They help them to raise money for economic reasons. And we saw that between 60 to 75% of people in our country benefits one way or the other from the agricultural sector. So if that is the case, that means this sector have a large portion to play in our economic growth. So, having known what agriculture is, I'll put a link to the previous class below this video so you can watch the first episode on this. Not the first episode in economics. We'll have more than 30 episodes on economics, but the episode before this, I'm going to put the link below the comment box so that below this video, so you go watch it and see what we explain in that class. This is a continuation of that class. So we're going to look at 8 ways that agriculture have contributed immensely to the growth of the economy of our country. What are the ways it has contributed? The number one reason it's, or number one way it has contributed is through production of food. Remember that agriculture has to do with production of crops or rearing of crops, cultivating the land, planting, processing, making food available, and then the rearing of animals. All of these boils down to giving us sustenance. And most of this sustenance is food-wise. The meat is to sustain us food-wise. The crops, the plantain, the gari, the cocoa, and the rest of them is to provide food for the human race that belongs to that environment. It can be taken to other environments in some cases. So, agriculture have contributed immensely to food production. Without agriculture in this country, we're all starved to death. So, food is the number one thing that agriculture has contributed to this economy. Provision of raw materials. Raw materials are produced. Like we have rubber plantation, they are tapped in its raw state and they're processed into different things. Plastic chairs, plastic plates, different things that are rubber slippers, rubber sandals, things that can be processed from rubber are gotten from there. Cocoa, roasted, turned into our normal tea for us to take. And so many other raw materials that you can think about that agriculture have made possible for us to have. And then we'll have employment opportunity, like I told you, between 60 to 75% benefit from agriculture. It serves as a full-time employment or a part-time employment or a side hustle for many of us. So in one way or the other, we get involved in agriculture. Some people might be teachers and they hold a piece of land. Some are lawyers, they hold a piece of land. So it's either a full-time job or a part-time job. But there are people it has over full-time job too that help them with their daily sustenance. So it's a means of employment. Source of foreign exchange. As we process our raw materials, we export them to other countries. That boosts up our foreign exchange image. like agro product, like the crude we send out there, it helps us in the foreign exchange world. Then generation of income. You have a palm plantation, you have a cocoa plantation, you have an orange plantation. No matter the plantation you have, number one thing it does for you is to generate income. You see people cultivate a large piece of land, plant watermelon in it, they harvest it, it becomes a source of revenue for them. So it provides their daily necessity because it generates income. Not only income for individuals, it only generates income for the government too, because sometimes they pay tax, sometimes they contribute one way or the other to revenue that goes to the government. Alright, we'll take the sixth one, provision of materials for shelter. Limestone is the number one material used for cement production, and the cement is processed with other things, and we have our homes. We have other things too that helps us. We have stones, granites that are gathered from nature that are used for this. We have trees that helps us to roof our houses and do other things that provide shelter for us. So it's a source of raw material that gives us shelter. Without agriculture, we wouldn't have all of these. So look at that sector. You see that it has a great potential for helping us in our life. We have the other one, the seventh one, facilities, facilitate or provide facilities for recreation and tourism. Provide facilities for recreation and tourism. The horse, the donkey, they are animals reared by farmers that we can jump in during our recreational period or recreational time, go on vacation and go to these areas. Sometimes we go to good resorts that plants have been planted, trees have been planted, and we enjoy the nature that we found therein. Then we look at this area because it provides recreational. You see, rare animals are red, and we go to we go to zoo, or we go to game reserve and watch these animals in their natural states, and it's a form of tourism or a form of recreation for us. So agriculture opened that tourism sector, the recreational sector, for our relaxation, makes us relax in life. And then the last, provision of raw materials for industries. I make reference to rubber. Companies that use this raw material get it from the agricultural setting. Those in agriculture, those who have rubber plantation, they go get these raw materials from them, process it, and turn it into finished goods that you and I can enjoy. Without them, those industries can never exist. So we have seen 8 points why we say agriculture have contributed immensely to the economic growth of our country. There are a lot of points that shows that agriculture has been a great milestone to the development of our economy. Okay, we've seen food production, production of raw materials, employment opportunities, source of foreign exchange, generation of income, provision of raw materials for our shelter, provides tourism and recreation for us, and then finally provision of raw materials for industries. These are areas I've discussed. There are a lot of areas. Go think of those areas. Tell me the areas if you wish to. Let's interact below the comment box. This is not a monologue, it's a dialogue between you and I. Let me get your feedback. Ask your question. Tell me other points you think of. Nobody's an island of knowledge, you know that. Tell me other points you think of. Invite more people to the channel. Please Subscribe if you've not subscribed. That will move this channel forward. So please subscribe. Let's be one big family. You're my community and you're my family, and I love you all. Thank you for dropping by on economics class today. We'll go to other areas of economics class in our next class. Thank you.